history is never nice and neat. As we live through and participate in changes in church history, I say that sometimes we have to live the ambiguity. Through the years, I've continued as a Lutheran deaconess. I don't take leadership roles in our community. I really don't have to, because now we have all sorts of women who have grown in their leadership abilities. I do preside at Eucharist and sometimes preach and do some teaching ministry. I'm respected and very much a part of that community. There's something about being part of a group of women as a commitment for a lifetime that knows that they are always there for you and you are always there for them, even as the years go by. Pretty soon it'll be 50 years that I've been a deaconess. Caring, diverse women, as we gather to hear these women, some of them in social work, one a lawyer, teachers, congregation, parish workers, overseas, each of them using their gifts in diverse ways with a bias for the broken, what we say, powerful servanthood on tiptoes. Mothers, wives, single, gay, straight, all of us in a community together. Through this years, we are diverse, different ages, shapes and sizes and races and ethnicity, and different gifts, but we have that one commitment of faith and service in Christ. My continuation as a deaconess has also brought opportunities to be part of global diakonia, to broaden the horizons, and that's been really wonderful. Years ago, when our boys were quite small, we went into New York City from New Haven to just kind of visit for a day or so global diakonia, the first time we'd heard about it. That was way back in the early 70s, and it would not be until 2009 that it would be back in the United States again. But in between, we were privileged to be in Germany or to go to Australia, England, and be part of also diakonia of the Americas and the Caribbean and Jamaica and Winnipeg. And every time we gather together, there's a, well, we are different languages, different cultures. You have the women from new communities in Africa or New Zealand with the long established communities from Germany, different habits, different denominations. It's extraordinarily ecumenical. Language barriers could be a problem, but when we get together, somehow that all is there, but it doesn't divide us because we are centered in Christ and the central calling is service. So that enriching experience is just wonderful. I've also been privileged to be part of a working group that later came out with a document called The Diaconate as Ecumenical Opportunity. We had meetings with Anglican and Lutheran church leaders, both in Germany and in England. I was invited because I was a woman professor. It was only later they found out I was also a deaconess. So to be part of helping shape what diakonia, that historic office, looks like in the modern age has been a real privilege. Likewise, in the early years of the ELCA, the issue of ministry had not been settled, and so I was part of a 5-year task force on the study of ministry. And part of that study was to look at the threefold office, or ministry of word and service and word and sacrament. And I was also part of a very small working group that helped design diaconal ministry for the ELCA, and that was really a privilege, hard work, but a privilege, together for ministry. And I am pleased to this day that we have a new roster which is part of an old ministry of diaconal ministers in the ELCA. And also it's been a privilege to teach diaconal ministry students right here at Wartburg Seminary. So my going on for ordination and also PhD work has really not only enhanced my service at Wartburg, but I think enhanced the diaconate. Being able to celebrate Eucharist at Global Diakonia in Nova Scotia, for example. Our whole concept of diaconate, the diaconate service in the world, has broadened and yet has remained true to its historic roots. Wonderfully ironic, I believe, is that Wilhelm Lehe, the founder of Wartburg Seminary, was also one of the founders of the modern diaconate in the mid-19th century. And to this day at Noendettelsau, there are all sorts of works of service and deaconesses. Even though when Wartburg Seminary was founded in the mid-19th century, Leah, no one else could have thought of a woman being a pastor, I think he would have been very pleased that the first woman professor at a seminary of the American Lutheran Church would be a deaconess.